You figured I would figure this out before you actually got here, but I didn't do that.
How long have you had this equipment?
I've had it for a while.
That's sad.
It's okay. Normally I don't do it because I don't bring the laptop with me. So normally I'm just
I thought you were gonna say because you don't normally have guests that are willing to do this.
no. And we still skate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we do that? Wwhy do we still skate?
Why
I
do
mean,
we
I
still
know
skate?
I still skate. Why do you still skate?
Because it's one of the most fun things I've ever
Yeah,
done in my
yeah.
life.
Rollerblading is because last
Rollerblading stunts specifically is one of the most fun.
yeah,
It is
it's
way different
so-
than just recreational
it's so
skating.
It's so different because
It's
you can do
like-
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's like recreational skating, but if you add cocaine.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
That's-
funny how I'm doing that reference when I've never tried cocaine. But
Yeah, me
I know,
either.
I,
But
I,
it seems
I know enough
it
people.
seems to make sense.
Yeah.
It seems to make sense.
I remember I had a substitute teacher. You know, when you usually have a substitute teacher, like you don't really do serious work. So I was like, you know, just being humorous, like in that same way, doing these characters and whatnot. And so there was this one skit that I had done, and the sub said to me, he's like, "That was really good. That was really funny." He's like, "You should check out a group of friends of mine who have a sketch comedy group, and they do a show every Sunday at Pianos. They're called The Whitest Kids You Know."
And that was whitest kids.
And that was The Whitest Kids You Know.
That's so.
This is
so
before
crazy.
this is before the moment that made me say, okay, I'm going to try attempting stand-up was when I saw a comedian open up for them.
Okay.
And
Do you remember who the comedian was?
don't
Are you
remem-
allowed to say who it is?
No, I actually don't remember who it
Okay.
was. But yeah. And I don't think I had seen him on the scene again, and it's probably for the reason why I'm telling you. I remember him being mediocre.
Okay.
And that was inspiring to me because I thought to myself, I can definitely write better jokes than that. Situation where they were like, all right, cool. Jeff said that, you know, you did this thing in class. He's like, hey, why don't you come out around the corner of Pianos and do it in front of us? Just on the spot.
Odd. That's so odd.
It was so awkward because it was the whole crew.
It was all of them. What is your background? Because people can't see you, so I mean, you don't have to.
I'm Black American.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you? What do you want to? I'm asking if you want to define that further than that, or do you just like?
Oh, it's turning into one of those conversations.
It isn't. No, that's why I'm asking. I'm phrasing it the way I am. It's just like, well, you don't have to because
If
it
anybody
could be
if-
offensive to actually ask you that.
Oh no, it's not. And fuck that whole idea of that being offensive to ask because I feel that the threshold as to what is offensive
I think
is getting lower and
asking
lower.
what someone's background is.
Well, no,
isn't
that's
as,
the po-
isn't as
that's the p-
offensive as saying where are you from, which is a little.
But
bit-
now, what the point that I'm making is now it's going in that direction socially, which is quite annoying. It's like
right.
there are things that were undoubtedly offensive
Right.
vocally, socially speaking, but then all of a sudden we're trying to like add more things to the list, and it's like fuck off.
Okay. Stage persona is, I want to say it's more laconic than you are in person.
Okay.
It's a little bit more deadpan than.
Yes.
Was that always like that, even when you started, or was that something that developed over time? Were you doing? Because you do.
I think that developed over time. I've always been relatively dry.
Right.
But as far as that's developed over time. I think it's due to the fact that I've put most of my focus on joke writing
Right.
as opposed to delivery.
Right.
So
And you also write talk to you a little bit about like your writing process. Do you now write in that short format, or do you start with a concept and then you write like a whole big thing and then trying to edit down to like that 2 or 3?
when it comes to the jokes that are really short, I write them short originally.
Okay.
I have to just, with whatever it is I'm doing, however it is I'm doing it, I just have to do it in a way that is really, I feel, polished
Right.
and developed and done in a way where I can convey my ideas properly, and where I treat it as if my jokes are a piece of a puzzle and the
Right.
audience is the the connecting piece of that puzzle,
Right.
and it just has to be synchronized.
Is that
So
even though you're one
it's
person,
like a job. A
that's
fair
kind
amount.
of the problem that the comics have been, about what you can joke about and what you can't, is there seems to be a proportion of people who it would serve them better if they were informed about the way a stand-up show that isn't one of those shows that say like Caroline's, where it's like a headline. I was like, no, this is the way this is going to work. You're going to see a lot of varied things, and some of it you're not going to like.
Yes.
And you have to be prepared. Was like some of it you might be deeply offended by.
Yes.
Just like, and that's like,
Because they're already taking a risk
right.
by seeing people they've never heard of.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, oddly enough, you have people that are fans of stand-up comedy, but not in a general sense. Like
Yeah.
they're fans of the people that they know and that they like.
Right.
And then you have other people that are willing to. I think it kind of helps when you're dealing with people who are willing to see random people they've never come across.
One of my favorite things that you do on stage is that, like, if most of the audience doesn't get, and there's one person, like, you like congratulate
them. Yes, yes.
Which is kind of,
and I'll sometimes congratulate them in a very specific way, like,
yeah.
thank you for appreciating irony, and I'll point to them.